a devotee of Ganesha by name Morya Gosavi. Morya Gosavi devoted his life to Ganesha. And his story is very elaborate and I won't go too much into it, but there's a point comes when Ganesha says, I'm so moved by you that I will be born in your house for 7 generations. And if you go to the Samadhi of Morya Gosavi and his descendants, his son, Chintamani, I think his name is, if I'm not mistaken, Chintamani's Samadhi is there, the place where Chintamani was buried. On top of that Samadhi, there are other generations, Chintamani's son and son and son, 7 generations it spans. All of them just have regular Samadhis. Ganapati's energy is supposed to have been contained in them. But in Chintamani's case, on top of the Samadhi, a rock has formed. That rock is in the shape of Ganesha. You can see it when you go there to his Samadhi, which is very close to Pune. This is testimony to the fact that what you do out of love, out of reverence, out of gratitude and Sharanagati is never forgotten. God manifesting himself to someone and saying, I will come as your child, and showing it to the rest of the world when that child supposedly passes away, because passes away is really a wrong word to use. But that's the idea of Upasana. That Upasana will leave a stamp for you and the whole world to see, saying, hey, you all raised eyebrows, you all questioned, you all wondered, ye thoda pagal hai kya? Which is a question that we ask about spiritual people all the time. That the world thinks they're so crazy only. But divinity will show them when divinity has to show them. Divinity is not concerning itself with how much is the world validating it. It's showing the seeker, if the seeker is willing to listen. So Ganapati does that. He has big ears, he's always listening. So
yeah, they say if you believe long and faithfully enough, then God will build you back up in front of the people he broke you down in front of.
Yeah. And in many ways, that's also what karma is, right? That when we go through the process of karmic cleansing, like we were talking about earlier, when we go through that karmic breakdown, we are brought down to our most base state. From there, we are remade, right? The glass cannot be filled with a new experience until it is emptied. That emptying is also divine. It is all, one may argue and say it is always easy to romanticize this in hindsight, especially from the seat that I'm on. Because any individual alone knows their experience. But that statement is only half complete. That individual and the Devata that they have been worshipping and holding on to, both of them know that experience. So we are never alone in that sense. Provided terms and conditions apply that we hold on to the sadhana before, during and after that period. That's when you know, okay, no, I was not alone. I see the hand of God in all these activities. That's where the magic begins, because you connect the dots and suddenly a rangoli is formed. So, yeah.
Even those plants behind you are reminding me of the Durvas.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Like there's so much real energy in this particular episode.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know even you're feeling it.
Totally.
And I'm sure anyone who's with us till this point is feeling
I'm
it.
looking at it. I'm seeing it behind you. And it doesn't happen often, because that's the thing about Ganapati, no? He's so sudden. He just appears like that. There are so many beautiful stories of how he's come like that. And it's not just about stories contained in Puranas. It's also about the live experiences of people. In fact, when you start to worship Ganapati, more and more, the first thing that you notice is, and this comes up in sadhana, is the kind of obstacles that one didn't expect suddenly show up. But the first question of a rational mind is, but main to Ganapati ki puja kar raha hu yaar. I'm worshipping Ganapati. Why is this happening to me? But it's just like what happened when the ocean was churned, right? There's a beautiful Puranic story of how the Devatas and the Asuras, two opposing forces in nature, they came together to churn the ocean because they wanted Amrit, which was at the base of the ocean. The first thing that came up was poison. That's natural, because when the churn is happening inside, when we are holding on to any Devata, the first thing that emerges is that blocking layer between us and that Devata. If you go past that, no, you'll go into a different realm. And Ganapati is about that different realm. He necessarily puts people through that. But if you're sincere enough, you'll get to a realm of pure joy. So every Devata is associated with one energy. Not to say that they don't have other energies. They're complete manifestations of all energies. But they show you the highest expression of one particular one. So for example, Rudra is the energy of Agni. Devi is the energy of Jala. Vishnu is also connected to Jala, water, the energy of water. Ganapati is about the energy of joy, of Ananda. That is why everything about him is joy. Every Devata has a realm that they reside in. Vishnu's realm is Vaikuntha. Shiva's realm is Kailasa. Devi's realm is Manidvipa. Krishna's realm is Goloka. Ganapati's realm is called Swananda. Swa Ananda, made of two words. Swa is self. Ananda is joy. He who delights in the self. That being is Ganapati. That is why when you're worshipping him, Ganapati and Krishna, they bring Ananda automatically. Hanuman and Ganapati have so much in common because they're basically about joy. See what happens in Ramayana, in the story of Ramayana, when Sita is abducted by Ravana, Rama goes looking for someone who can help and he meets Sugriva. The second Hanuman enters the story, everybody, the Ramayana literally sits up because now there's joy. That is why we, in worship, in the school of Sanatan Dharma, in multiple schools, we have this concept of Paraspara Bhava. Paraspara Bhava means seeing two deities in similar light. Ganapati and Hanuman are identical like that.
Wow.
They both bring joy, number one. There is a secret of Upasana hidden here. We worship Ganapati at the beginning of a task so that there are no obstacles. You worship Anjaneya or Hanuman at the end of a task for Karya Siddhi, to attain the fruit of what you worship. One is at the beginning, one is at the end. In the south, Sankashtahara Chaturthi, even in Maharashtra, it's followed very religiously, very sincerely. And Hanuman is called as Sankat Mochan. So it's the same thing. You see across the northern parts of the country, Hanuman and Ganesha's idols both will be smeared with sindoor. Same idea. Both of them are worshipped on Tuesdays. Both of them are representing two energies of Shiva. That is why in Chennai, there's a very beautiful temple where there is a Vigraham of Hanuman and Ganapati merged with each other called as Adyanta Prabhu. Adi is Ganapati. We worship him in the beginning. Anta is Hanuman. So when you worship both of these, irrespective of whether you worship them together or individually, when you are worshipping one, that element of joy will seek to you. Essentially, what are these devatas? These devatas are those energies and those emotions in their highest expression. When you set a wire of connection between yourself and them, that will flow towards you. So you will see that energy entering into you. So Ganapati's joy, Krishna's joy, Hanuman's joy, all of them will come towards you when you are keenly observing what's happening within. And in Ganesh Chaturthi, that's the community feeling also. That's the reason they said community worship. Because with community worship, what happens is it's a collective celebration. So automatically a sense of togetherness, a sense of brotherhood, call it what you will, that comes. These are all ways to internalize that joy. Ganapati is entirely about joy. Worshipping him will take you to a state of joy after pulling you through the dross of everything that's not joyful. In summary of what we've been talking about. So, yeah.